The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game became one of the most talked about moments in women's basketball history. Fans around the country expected big plays and electric performances, but few expected the events that would unfold during the All-Star Draft. Caitlin Clark, one of the most well-known young stars in the league, took control in a way rarely seen from a rookie, challenging the usual structure of the event and creating headlines before the game even began. Alongside her on the national stage were key names like Sophie Cunningham and legendary figure Cheryl Miller, all playing unique roles in what turned into an unforgettable moment in sports history. Caitlin Clark, who has been making waves since her record-setting college days at Iowa, came into the WNBA with sky-high expectations. She quickly earned the respect of fans and peers alike with her long-range shooting, court vision, and fearless attitude. Her popularity was so strong that she led all players in All-Star fan voting, securing her spot as captain of one of the two All-Star teams. That alone was impressive, especially considering she was a rookie. But Clark didn't stop there. What she did next sent shockwaves through the league. During the live televised All-Star Draft on July 8, 2025, Caitlin Clark did something no one had ever done before. At the end of the draft, when it was time to confirm the head coaches assigned to each team, she casually looked over to Nifa Collier, the other team captain, and proposed something that had never happened in league history: a coach swap.
We're going to trade coaches. Bee's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it.
Oh.
It's going to be amazing. Sorry, WNBA.
Clark, originally assigned Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve, wanted to trade her for New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello, who had been assigned to Collier's team. Nafisa Collier agreed, laughing along with Clark, and the league officials allowed the switch to stand. This spontaneous moment instantly became headline news. It wasn't just that the switch had never been done before. It was how confidently Clark took control of the situation. Her exact words were, "I don't know if this is allowed. I don't really care," before proposing the trade. Her boldness made a statement about how players were now asserting their voices and how the game is played and managed even during high-profile events like the All-Star Game. Many fans praised her for taking initiative and bringing excitement to the event. Others saw it as a direct response to recent tensions between Clark and Coach Reeve, including criticism that had come during Olympic roster discussions earlier in the season. Coach Cheryl Reeve, a respected figure in the WNBA with a strong coaching resume and years of experience, had recently been involved in controversy regarding Caitlin Clark's Olympic snub. Clark had not been selected for the Team USA women's basketball roster for the 2024 Paris Olympics, and Reeve, who coached the national team, was at the center of that decision. Fans and analysts speculated that there was tension between Clark and Reeve, which may have influenced the rookie's decision to trade her out of the All-Star Game. Whether or not that was Clark's true motivation, the move was viewed by many as a quiet but powerful message. Nafisa Collier, who ended up with Coach Reeve on her team after the swap, took the moment in stride. She joked that the trade might be a mistake for Clark because Reeve already knew all of Collier's Minnesota Lynx teammates, which could work to their advantage. The atmosphere remained lighthearted, but it was clear that this was a serious and strategic decision. Clark wanted a coach she was comfortable with, and perhaps one who better understood her style of play. Sandy Brondello, the coach she chose, is known for her adaptable coaching style and strong relationships with her players. Many believe she would allow Clark the freedom she needed to play her best in the showcase game. As the buzz around the coach trade spread across social media and sports media outlets, another WNBA player, Sophie Cunningham, entered the conversation. Known for her fiery energy and outspoken personality, Cunningham has long been a voice in the league for pushing boundaries and standing up for players' rights. She didn't shy away from sharing her support for Clark, praising her confidence and ability to take charge of the moment. Cunningham had experienced her own share of battles in the league, and she recognized the significance of a young player like Clark stepping into a leadership role so early in her career. Cunningham also used the moment to highlight how the league is evolving. In the past, players often followed the league structure without question. Now, with stars like Clark leading the way, the new generation of athletes is showing that they are not afraid to speak up and take control when they feel something needs to change. Cunningham emphasized that this is good for the growth of the league and for women's sports in general. Fans connect more deeply when they see athletes being themselves, making bold choices, and taking ownership of their careers. While Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham were shaping headlines with their bold actions and voices, legendary basketball figure Cheryl Miller also made waves with her commentary and reaction to the event. Cheryl Miller, one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time and a longtime analyst, has always been a strong advocate for the growth and integrity of the women's game. She called the coach swap one of the most exciting and defining moments in All-Star Game history. In her view, it wasn't just entertainment. It was a shift in how players are viewed in relation to power and decision-making within the WNBA. Miller explained that this kind of moment showed how much the league had grown. In earlier years, the idea of players choosing or switching their coaches on national television would have been unthinkable. Now, the league encourages personality, player involvement, and fan engagement. Miller praised Clark's confidence and professionalism, noting that this would likely set a new tone for future events. She believed that the WNBA was entering a new era, one where players had more control and the fans had more fun. By the time the draft ended, the All-Star Game matchups were set. Caitlin Clark's team was built around some of the league's brightest young stars, including Aaliyah Boston, Sada Sabali, Sabrina Ionescu, and A. Wilson. With Sandy Brondello coaching, the team had a blend of explosive offense and strategic leadership. On the other side, Keir's team led by Cheryl Reeve featured Breanna Stewart, Paige Buchers, Nneka Agwamike, and Alicia Gray, another powerhouse squad. The All-Star Game scheduled for July 19 promised to be not only competitive but a statement game filled with drama, energy, and excitement. What made the story so magnetic was the way it blurred the lines between competition and entertainment. Clark brought the kind of unscripted drama typically seen in men's leagues, especially the NBA. When LeBron James speaks out or shakes up team dynamics, it's widely discussed. Now, Caitlin Clark was doing something similar in the WNBA, and the world paid attention. For a league that has often struggled to get equal media coverage, this moment was golden. Highlight reels, panel discussions, and viral clips flooded social platforms. It wasn't just sports fans watching anymore. People who had never followed the WNBA before were suddenly interested. Many analysts also drew attention to the fact that this wasn't a staged media stunt. It was genuine, spontaneous, and full of personality. That authenticity is what captured so many fans. Sports media has often criticized the WNBA for being too buttoned up, with players expected to follow the rules, stay quiet, and focus only on the game. But Caitlin Clark changed that in just one sentence, and the media embraced her for it. This moment also made one thing very clear. Player influence in the WNBA is growing. For a long time, coaches and league officials made the biggest decisions without much input from the players. But the All-Star coach swap signaled a shift. Clark showed the players not only want to be part of the decision-making process, they're ready to lead it. You can see this in other areas of the league as well. Players like A.A. Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Nama Mickey have taken leadership roles in the Players' Union, helping shape policies around pay, travel conditions, and marketing. Now, with Clark stepping into the spotlight as a rookie and already influencing coaching decisions, it's clear that the next generation of players is more empowered than ever. What's also interesting is that the league didn't shut it down. The WNBA allowed the coach swap to happen even though it broke traditional format. That quiet approval spoke volumes. It was the league's way of saying, "We're listening to the players." In other leagues, a move like this might have led to penalties or public pushback, but here it became a headline-worthy celebration. That's a sign of how much the WNBA is growing, not just in talent, but in trust between players and leadership. There's no denying that the coach swap also reflected a larger generational change happening within basketball. Players like Caitlin Clark represent a new breed of athlete. Confident, digitally connected, and unafraid to challenge the status quo. This younger generation grew up watching NBA stars express themselves both on and off the court. They saw how social media, player branding, and public platforms became tools for athletes to speak directly to fans. And now they're doing the same in the WNBA. This new generation doesn't want to be limited by traditional structures. They want personality to shine, rivalries to build, and moments of drama to unfold naturally. The All-Star Game coach trade became a perfect example of that mindset. It was bold, unscripted, and a little rebellious, and fans loved it. Older generations of players, including legends like Tamika Catchings or Sue Bird, laid the foundation with professionalism and hard work. Now players like Caitlin Clark are using that foundation to build something bigger, something louder and more visible. The blend of past and present is what makes today's WNBA so special. The league is evolving without losing its roots. Caitlin Clark's boldness is also reshaping how corporate sponsors view the WNBA. Brands love athletes who can create viral moments. With millions of views and trending hashtags following the coach swap, companies took notice. Clark already had major deals with brands like Nike and Gatorade before the season began. But this kind of buzz boosts her marketability even further. Sponsorships in the WNBA are now more personality-driven than ever. It's not just about stats, it's about star power. When players make headlines, brands gain exposure. After the draft, marketing analysts predicted a spike in WNBA jersey sales, ticket interest for the All-Star game, and overall league visibility. Some even compared Clark's effect on the WNBA to what Serena Williams did for tennis or what Simone Biles did for gymnastics. She's bringing a new kind of audience to the sport, and it's not just Clark. Sophie Cunningham's vocal support and Cheryl Miller's strong commentary also added value to the moment. It showed that the WNBA is filled with dynamic, outspoken women ready to challenge norms and lead cultural conversations. That's exactly what today's brands want to be a part of. Looking ahead, this all-star moment is likely to change how the event is run in the future. It's no longer just a fun exhibition. It's a stage for leadership, influence, and creative control. Fans may now expect player-driven changes every year. Will players draft their coaches again? Will fans get to vote on coaching staff? Could we see a captain's challenge that lets leaders make other rule changes mid-game? The WNBA has an opportunity here to embrace innovation and fan engagement. By giving players more freedom during All-Star Weekend, the league can make the event even bigger than it already is. People don't just want to watch basketball. They want stories, rivalries, personalities, and unpredictability. Caitlin Clark gave them all of that in one evening. Even the format of the All-Star game itself could evolve. We've already seen the NBA experiment with different formats such as target scores and team charities. With rising stars like Clark and bold voices like Cunningham and Miller shaping the conversation, the WNBA may follow a similar path where tradition and innovation meet in exciting ways. As the All-Star game approached, fans didn't just look forward to seeing who would win. They tuned in to watch how Clark's leadership would unfold, how the players responded to the new dynamics, and how the coaches adapted to unexpected changes. The coach swap, once seen as a rule-breaker move, had become the defining moment of the event and possibly a turning point for the league. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more WNBA updates. Let us know in the comments. Was this a power move, a message to the league, or just play for fun? Either way, history was made.